So I have a few questions / shout-outs to make. And actually, the first shout-out is going out to this guy who's going out. Okay, so basically today we didn't have a streaming set up correctly, so this guy himself was holding his iPhone for like, I don't know how many hours straight, so his hands probably hurt. Okay, it was 6 hours, thank you. And actually I want everyone to give a round of applause for Alex Shania, who did this so that everyone who is not part of this event today, because we have limited space, was able to enjoy it. And actually we'll have a recordings of these talks later on, I hope. We'll close. Otherwise we'll have to go to Periscope again and again and just rewatch the streaming stuff. Okay, so the next one would be actually saying thanks to the host. We did talk about these guys. They're pretty awesome. They get us the space, the food, they're doing the recording stuff for us. These cool robots that actually follow the speaker and sees everything, like GoldenEye or something. So thanks to them, I guess. And like one of the announcements, we are probably going to do KeepJS next time in January, and it's going to be this exact spot. And if you are not against that, like how do they say it at the wedding? You know, like if someone has something to say about that, say now, or like keep your peace forever, or something like that. Okay, yeah, and I think we are ready with our last speaker, whose name is Borys, who is going to give us a talk. And you can see the name of the talk. And actually, Borys, I think, is your mic on?
Yes, everything is on.
The stage is yours.
Okay, thank you very much. I know that everyone tired and everyone, actually the last one, it was almost suicide. But actually I want to talk about the topic that it's far from the JS, it's far from the programming, it's more like a philosophy. It's, but on my example. I'm a self-taught person, so I want to talk about self and what I have learned by. Okay, when I started to prepare for the topic, especially on English, I like very advanced at English, I'm going to the Google Translate and translate the name of topic, and actually I like that a few questions. It's actually it's hard to explain in once because I try to be as much as possible. Sure, I could talk about that how hard is programming in general, because most of you are seeing like this man, and so walking and let's change nothing and yeah and try. Because people generally try nothing. It's a good expression for the describing. Or so also as a problem is which I have and now why do we interrupt? So my code working and I don't know why, and don't works and I don't why, and it's hard. Or just for as a previous lecture, also to mention because it was interesting, and I also agree that it was a huge topic. In general, it's hard, but human is not also like as a biological person, so of course about we like self, and but also I want to input a social aspect because environment is very important. We are here because we have some goal or purpose, and it's very important. And the next one, I try to avoid people when they don't give me some information, and they are just what is that, dude? Why did you do that? And it's shame. Don't give up. So I mean, no last expression wrong. What the fuck is that actually? And again, you trying to do something, and yes, double with the face palm, and you feel like a shit, and you think, what could be worse? Well, yeah, like we see that no eternity. But for me is was very helpful to looking for the people that try to help you, that try to do some advice and to help you make some action. I try to avoid people like this because when people search only a problem and not give you some advice and information, it's very painful, especially on a mental level. Or maybe you will see that reaction that people just don't respect for any of your job and how hardness it could be. Actually, out of this, you have some. You could be in some problem. It's just like show me a hand that is boring from those of you are a real problem that decides that they are a problem. Oh, it's so sweet audience, but what I'm hoping is the last one. I could go. Okay, because maybe you know or not, I hope you know that brain, like stomach, is also a consumer organ, but stomach is consume a food and brain is consume information. And for me, it was very helpful to change environment. It's to out of fields that you are boiling every time and go something where that you are definitely not going before. It's because brain consume a new information, and it is very helpful when you are trying to create something. Also, it's like a cap, but looking for the result, looking for that you will to have, and not what you wish to do, and it's really hard, and looking in the future that what you will have in generally in the result. Also for me it was very helpful to make any quest and any problem to create into the quest because for somebody it's work, for somebody it's not, and also choose the best approach that you will have. For me, it's was very hardness, and when I was a student and I first studied in university on the first course, it's maybe here was descriptive geometry. What is that? No. Okay. And to make some metaphors that make you left that information that you are remember. Okay, and also I want to mention that's okay. One sec, the last one. Okay, if you just gave up on the how pass, it's that's that show that the result that you have is 0, and it's wrong. Just say it's wrong. Well, playing like in a Shilabah, I was also to mention some things that helpful for me. First of all, it's to be patient. It's hard for me to understand. I know that, but I don't fully understand that to be to resolve, it's to be must be patient, and because time to time to 1, 2, 10, and 100 once to do something. It's like in a sport. It's the repeating of mass of 11. It's a big. Be curious. It's because for me it was very, very helpful. Curious that I could say that even that saved me, because as I come from the boring, it's priceless, like I said. Be passionate, and because even every tool, every instrument that you use, no matter how that people that around us that this is could be bullshit, that you shouldn't to see him and try to do everything you want to the end. Be busy. It's also the good cure from the boring and from the lazy. When you are busy, you just don't have time for the something that doing about the lazy or boring, and your brain like a computer. Yeah, I just take that simplicity is a key to brilliance, and I also like Bruce Wayne. Yeah, I try to. It's my credo that I try to avoid some complicated things, because if things is not simple, that I just to avoid that, and also to define the goal. And it's a big goal. It's like a life cycle. it's even more bigger goal that your brain work like if you are in a cycle, that every your action you equal. If it is wrong, just continue. And if you are if it's helpful, do that. And thanks all for the attention.
All right, this is the last talk, and it's the last Q&A session, and let's go.
It's very interesting for me because it's some questions in here. Wow.
A couple questions. First of all,
Couple. Oh my God.
Share with us some details about your background, about your stack, about your projects. That's the first question. And second question is about, as I understand, this presentation is like a result of your experience, of your mistakes, of your searches. Maybe you could share more details about your personal experience, how you use these devices, how they was born.
Yes, thanks for questions. I did not include the slide who am I because in general it's hardly to define as a developer. I'm a postgraduate studies and it's technical. It's chemical engineering and it's even far from the IT. But my previous experience, it's to be busy and to, as a result, I'm staying right here because I try to be curious and to make a field of widely and to looking. I wrote the goal that I want to be, that I want to people that to remember me, and try to realize this in a pet project, in some entrepreneur project, and now I'm here.
Any more questions? How often do you get stuck, right? How often do you get stuck and cannot think of any simple question?
You said that we should avoid complex tasks and choose to do something easy one, maybe.
No. Maybe something very to understand. I try to do every hard task. It's make them as much as easy. As we know that as a huge galaxy in the universe comparing from an elementary particles like boson, muon, and stuff like that. I mean that make your task and try to do them as much as easy, but by the even step by step, and that simplicity means that it will be understandable even for kids.
Any more questions? No questions. I'd like to open a very short discussion. Do you have your own recipe about how to get unstuck? When you're stuck, what you do? Any input? Go to sleep. Faint physical trainings. What else? Listen to music. What else? Change an activity.
Not usual for you, probably.
What?
After party.
After party. I usually go cooking, actually. So, what else?
House cleaning.
Sorry? House cleaning.
Yeah.
Great task. Love it.
Walk with dog.
Sorry?
Walk with your dog.
Oh, walk your dog. Awesome. I don't have a dog. I have nobody to walk. But yeah.
What's your wife?
Notice how all these tasks, all these solutions are not about solving the task, but rather about evading the task, right? About trying to avoid it for as long as possible. What else?
I don't know what about
Sorry? Mon? Hiking. Okay, we got it. You walk away from your computer. What if you are staying with the computer? For example, you are on a train, you want to program, but you're stuck. Change the project. Quit your job. Awesome. Yeah. How about, I see that they're mostly like field level developers. How about being a team lead and giving the task to someone else? Right? Usually to junior person. Oh yeah, that's a good idea actually. What? Go into a conference, okay, and ask people there. Actually, when I do my workshops, about 1/3 of people who come to my workshops, they're actually coming there to ask their specific questions for me. What else? Other ideas? How about trying to explain your task to someone else, and through that getting to the conclusion? How often does it happen? If a network doesn't work for me, I ask our admins or DevOps people to come over, and once the admin presence factor kicks in, everything works, right? What else?
May I?
Oh, okay.
Fundamental.
Find a mentor. Cool. Coach. Yeah, coach. No. I'm ready, coach. Coach, let me out from the start of the next game. I'll try to do my best, coach. Borys?
Yeah. For me, it's very helpful when I start. I try to draw something. It's even in a simple. I try to describe it on a paper, and it's very helpful to understand to how work.
Yeah. Do you know about the technique called rubber duck debugging? When you have a rubber duck, and when you're stuck, you start talking to the duck and explaining it what the problem is. So cool. All right. Yeah, we got the link to the after party. One downside of this place is that the we usually spend after party at Arech, and Arech is pretty far from here, so we'll have to order a taxi to go there. So it's important to know who will come and who will not come. But first of all, I'd like to ask you all, how did you like today's meetup? Do you find it interesting? Yeah. Say we meet again in January. Would you be up for that? Yeah. Okay. Would you like to see more talks in English or Ukrainian or Russian or which languages? English.
A little bit French, please.
A little bit French. Mandarin. Awesome. Sorry, German. Okay, this side prefer French, but that side prefer German. There is some border tensions right here. Okay, so here's the deal. I forgot what I wanted to say, but basically, I want people to raise hands, those of you who asked questions. Any questions to any given talk? Today, right, during the whole day. That guy asked lots of questions but didn't raise their hand. So, quite a few people actually left already, but was it difficult to ask questions in English? Not really. Okay, cool, awesome. Do you find like people who have really bad troubles with the language hard to listen to, or do you empathize with them and try to just get over it?
It's just not comfortable to listen to bad English.
Yeah, okay.
It's understandable, but not comfortable.
Not comfortable.
And
Yeah.
you can learn better.
Yeah, they should learn better, right? Next time. Cool. So our plan for the next meetup is to have at least half of the talks in English. We can do all talks in English if the other half agrees. But basically, if you are interested in giving a talk, there was a person today who talked about best practices. Is the best practices guy here?
Uh,
Huh? So, was it you who wanted to talk about best practices?
now,
Not now, but next time.
maybe.
Maybe. We would be very, very glad to hear from you. So, that's it. Who wants to go to after party?
Great.
Now,
I have one question for you
for me.
and for John. You talk that this was experiment. What is your feelings about this experiment?
It went pretty well. To my taste. But it's more about asking people out. Right? There are few people who left. I will probably send a feedback form to all people who registered for the meetup and ask them to. So if they were at the meetup, we will learn about them. What do you think about this place? Do you like it less, more, or
Hard to get here.
hard to get here?
Yeah.
I totally agree. How to get out of here as well.
That's very important.
Yeah, that's very good for hiring, I suppose. Once you get stuck, you just keep working, right?